Eddie Hearn is now losing the plot. It's getting boring and annoying and frustrating now. He now wants Anthony Joshua to fight Rico Verhoeven. Um, why? I don't know. I don't know. But after the Jake Paul fight, Eddie Hearn now wants to fight. Uh, and he now wants Anthony Joshua versus Rico Verhoeven. He now wants another gimmick fight, which shouldn't happen. Instead of him wanting Joshua to go down the path and fight a boxer, he now wants him to fight a kickboxer. It was a YouTuber to a kickboxer. Look, the Jake Paul one, I guess, made financial sense. Yes, it did make financial sense. Joshua versus Rico Verhoeven, you can get the same money elsewhere fighting an actual boxer. Eddie Hearn was like, oh, yeah, we're not sure. We just need to fully make sure Joshua is ready for the Tyson Fury fight. What, by fighting a kickboxer who has a style which is nothing like Tyson Fury's whatsoever? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Look, Verhoeven's a good, very nice and compact kickboxer. We all know how good he is. He is literally the GOAT of kickboxing. He's the GOAT of the heavyweight division in kickboxing, not boxing. So why they'd want to go down a route like this again is mind-blowing, and it shows Eddie Hearn's absolutely lost the plot by what he wants right now for Anthony Joshua. Like, what does he want to get out? I just feel like he's just using AJ right now. He's using him. I don't even think he cares much about him. He just wants to get as much money out of him as possible. But I get the Jake Paul one because from a financial perspective, I get it. But from this fight, I don't get at all. I don't get it at all. You can fight a boxer for the same amount of money that you get from this fight. Joshua, if he goes in for a Daniel Dubois rematch, for example, which Eddie Hearn clearly doesn't want, then he'd get way more money from that than this. And then the Tyson Fury fights. Like, what are we doing? This is just a time waster, this fight. This is just a waste of time, which doesn't need to happen. Joshua's 36 years old. We don't want to be wasting time. I reckon they should just go right into the Fury fights. But it looks like, they are going to be having warm-ups. But Rico Verhoeven, why? What does this fight do for a warm-up? He's nothing like Tyson Fury. He's not even a boxer. So a warm-up fight should be someone who isn't as good as the guy who you're going to be going up against, but has a style or has a build just like them. Verhoeven is none of that for Anthony Joshua going up against Tyson Fury. None of that at all. He's not a boxer. That's one thing. And that just puts it completely wrong. Second of all, his style isn't even anything like him anyway. So I don't see what we're doing going down this route. If you want Anthony Joshua to warm up for Tyson Fury, you at least give him a boxer. That's what you do. You at least give them a boxer. It doesn't even need to. Look, just... so this rubbish doesn't happen. You don't even need to have an amazing similar style to Fury opponents. He has got a pretty unique style, Fury. And I feel like AJ could be difficult to replicate as well. But this just isn't right. This just isn't right. And I feel like Eddie Hearn thinks that he can get loads of money out of this. But I don't think it's a massive money grabber anyway. People are bored of seeing two sports go clash in boxing or just in the same sport. If Joshua was to go over to kickboxing, he'd lose. If Verhoeven's to come over to boxing, he'll lose. So it's boring. It's boring. It's obvious that the guy who does the sport that they're competing in is going to win the fight. You don't need the money out of this. The amount of money they got out of the Jake Paul fight, this will be nothing compared to that anyway. I don't know what Eddie Hearn thinks he can get out of wanting to stick Joshua in this fight. What are you gaining out of it? You're gaining no experience whatsoever from it. Joshua's gaining no experience from it. I don't even think it's him making the decisions. It's Eddie Hearn using him, basically. That is what we are seeing here. And that's that is 100% if this Rico Verhoeven fight happens. Do I think it will happen? No, it can't. It can't. Eddie Hearn can't have outrage around his name any longer. He can't, because this will be an absolute joke of a fight. Joshua, if he really wants to get back into the swing of things, look, basically, we're not even counting that Jake Paul fight as an actual fight. That shouldn't even be on the record. Rico Verhoeven, this fight shouldn't even be on the bloody resume. This fight shouldn't even be a thing. It shouldn't even count as a fight. That's the thing. It just doesn't make sense. And also as well, if Joshua goes into the Fury fight, his 3 wins in a row would be Ngannou, Jake Paul, and Verhoeven. What? And this is what Eddie Hearn said. I mean, obviously the Ngannou fight, that's what it was. Joshua had to avenge boxing there after Fury just stunk everything out. That made sense. The Jake Paul fight made financial sense. Okay. This here, Rico Verhoeven, what we doing? What sense is this making? What are we trying to gain out of this? Nothing. Because you're not even going to get big money out of it. You're not. So I don't see the point in how this is gaining experience for a Fury fight. Just Turki Al-Sheikh needs to step in here, get the fight on, just chuck the money at them. But it's like, even if they want to set up and get them on the same card and then make them fight other people, one of them will probably bloody lose anyway, because that's just how it is, and then we'll never see the fight. Do it next. Fury's had over a year out, 2 losses, 2 weeks in a row. Fine. Joshua's now, had that financial gain with that Jake Paul fight. All right. He's now got more people talking about his name. They did 33 million viewers on Netflix. Cool. Stick them together now. It's the perfect time. We can't waste any more time, because they're both going to just get older by the day, by however long it takes to get this fight on. Who cares about this Rico against this Rico Verhoeven fight? No one.